Wynncraft, a server almost as old as Minecraft itself. Despite its age, it's grown and evolved with time, and now has well over 2 million unique players. I'm Draco, and I'm here to talk a little bit about Wynncraft's history, its impact on YouTube, and what has really made me play this server for 7 long years. Wynncraft began in the year of 2012. A man by the name of Salted came up with the idea to create an actual RPG for Minecraft. With the help of Green, Joomla, Krungle, Tame63, and Hi, my name is AJ, Wynncraft was born. However, it still took them till April 30th to actually release it to the public. During this time, there wasn't nearly as much of a structured storyline / objective other than to really just explore, since quests weren't added yet and content stopped at level 40. Parts of the map like Almuj and Nesek were blocked from free-to-play players, and really it was more of a hack and slash game sprinkled with a little bit of adventure. Wynncraft's first 2 major updates occurred on May 16th and May 28th of 2013. They added in the Zombie and Silverfish dungeons, now of which go by the Underworld Crypt and Sandswept Tomb dungeons. June 29th of 2013, the pet update was dropped. This update's main features were the adding of pets that could fight, a ton of new gear, the option to identify unique items, the ability to duel players, and even compete in swarms, which were in-game events in which a ton of zombies would invade a city, and if slain, the users would get a ton of XP. This update also added in level 45 to 60 gear and the Diurnal Jungle. Update 1.9 added in a quest and skill point system. On October 30th that year, a major update for Wynncraft occurred called the Ocean Update. It added a much larger ocean, horses, and islands that had new quests. The next year, 2014, Wynncraft Update 1.11 was released. This was a major update that added in a ton of changes to class spells and removed the delay of casting multiple spells in favor for a new system where more hunger was used if spell spamming. Update 1.11.1 added a giant door at the end of the ocean, which served as a foreshadowing for one of the biggest updates in Wynncraft's history. December of that year, the winter update came out, and it was big. A new town called Lucico was added, the Ice Canyon was made as an extension of Nesek, new quests, guilds, territories, and even the Tower of Ascension were added. Earlier, I talked about that giant door in the 1.11.1 update. Well, after a little over a year, December 20th, 2015, one of Wynncraft's most major updates was added, the Gavel Expansion Update. A new province was finally added called Gavel, which was supposed to be a magical province unlike the undead land of Wynn. They even added an official texture pack too. The update brought massive changes with over 50 new quests, an elemental damage system, mythics, and set items. I mean, what more could you really ask for? I mean, they even added 17 new songs for the game too. Update 1.14.1, also known as the gameplay update, added in corrupted dungeons, new quests, and fixed a lot of various gameplay issues. Sadly though, this update was absolute garbage. And that's because they added the sprint bar. I'll never forgive you for that, Salted. Anyways, 1.14.2 added in the hero rank, daily crates, and changed around some of the dungeon issues. Wynncraft began planning for something huge the next year. A year later, on the 7th of April 2017, Wynncraft added a giant update. Update 1.16, the Corcus Update. This update added Wynncraft's third province, Corcus, which was finally focusing on the endgame content so many players were hoping for. 5 new quests were added to the update, with one of them being required to even access the province. Hundreds of new items were made, and even a new dungeon called the Fallen Factory was added, where you literally fight an evil AI supercomputer that makes NFTs.
I love Gary V.
They also added a powder exchange where you can swap tier 4 to 6 powders of the same tier into different elements. Now this next update is arguably, in my opinion, one of the most influential updates to Wynncraft ever. It was January 18th, 2019. Birds were chirping, bees were buzzing, and Wynncraft was crafting the 1.18 Economy Update. Now before, to trade items, you would go on the forums, set up a shop and whatnot. Trading of powders, weapons, armor, you name it, were all done through the forums. Hell, even I made one. Not that successful though. Even though there were so many shops, time zones and lack of inventory made the whole trading process extremely tedious. The economy update eliminated all of these problems by adding a trade market. This market was so successful, in fact, that within 5 days, nearly 1 billion emeralds were spent on the endgame market. In other terms, that's around 20 million emeralds every hour. This update also added a ton of new skills. 4 gathering professions were added: mining, farming, woodcutting, and fishing. And 8 crafting professions were added: weaponsmithing, tailoring, woodworking, armoring, scribing, jeweling, alchism, and cooking. Each profession had a max level of 130, and there were even leaderboards for the top 100 in each profession. Boosting the economy, adding new skill/content, ingredients, etc. made this one of my favorite updates, by far. Update 1.19 added in the Silent Expanse, which was an area for players over level 100. Technically, it isn't a new province, but it's big enough that some might consider it. Personally, I haven't gotten there yet, so I can't really give much of an opinion, but it's spooky, and it's known as the Road to Dern. Also, a new class, game mode, and dungeon were added. Finally, the most recent major update for Wynncraft, at the time of recording, is Update 1.2, Gavel Reborn. You might be confused as Wynncraft already made such a major update for Gavel already. Why would you need a new one to be made, right? Well, the Gavel expansion update had a ton of hate because of its bugs, people getting used to the new item system, and people just hating elemental damage/skill requirements to wear certain pieces of armor/use weapons. It was overall a really big change for the game, and well, people hate change. Now, the Gavel Reborn update first revamped the Realm of Light questline, which originally was extremely incomplete and literally just left us on a cliffhanger. It also added raids to the game, which were basically dungeons that had a series of challenge rooms and one extremely strong boss at the end. The rewards were charms and tomes, which allowed you to get buffs for your character. In-game housing was thought to be an impossible feature, but was also added in the update. Other Gavel quests were remade, a forgery chest that scaled in rewards was made, and overall Gavel was just polished by this update. The next upcoming update is Wynncraft 2.0, but we're gonna have to wait a little bit for that. Now, on to Wynncraft on YouTube. So now I'll be addressing Wynncraft's history on YouTube. The first actual Wynncraft video ever made was uploaded by Crafted Bonus on April 21st, 2013. It was a teaser for the server. Now, the actual first videos that weren't teasers were made by Failboat, who is a really popular creator who made Let's Plays on the server, and Sam Gladiator on May 1st, 2013. The video was just about him, Green, and a few others playing the game and explaining aspects of it as they walked around. The official trailer for the server occurred on July 6th of 2013 and was uploaded by Crafted Movie. Moving on to 2013 to 2015, Wynncraft had a surge in more content being uploaded as the server became more popular. Wynncraft on YouTube during this time consisted mainly of playthroughs, with some of its biggest creators creating their channels during this era. Some such examples were Mr. Sebulonian, The Cirque, Hippie Snuggles, my childhood, and Igvarbon Squid. Now, Mr. Sebulonian and The Cirque were wildly popular with their Wynncraft Let's Plays. During this period though, videos had little to no editing, audio quality was, well, kinda bad.
We would like to introduce you to Wynncraft.
And the overall quality of the server was much worse than it is now, which meant inferior content. However, what they lacked in video quality, they made up for in personality, and despite all odds, their videos garnered thousands of views, a massive community, and in turn, their success on YouTube helped grow the server. Other major content creators during this time, like Hippie and Igvarbon Squid, made skits like this.
Oh god, there's someone over there. Whoa, slow down there, buddy. Whoa, where are you going?
I got to cross the bridge.
You're not crossing that bridge, are you, cray?
I'll bribe you with 12 emeralds.
No.
Such emotion. They also made guides on different aspects of Wynncraft, like the Emerald Labyrinth, how to get pink wool, and how to breed horses. The final major creator of this period was called In the Littlewood. He was even given his own area on the map called the Littlewood. During his short period on the server, he made a few Let's Play videos, but soon left the community. His last video was uploaded on April 6th, 2014, titled Minecraft MMO Wynncraft, Gravedigger, Part 8. Content continued to pour out from the main creators. Soon, however, everything would change for the Wynncraft YouTube landscape. During this period, a ton of major milestones and events occurred for the Wynncraft community. The Gavel expansion update dropped in 2016, which meant a lot more content was ready to be made. This was a huge year for many of its content creators. The Cirque started a season 2 of his series, Mr. Sebulonian hit 5k subs on YouTube, and even Green, the owner of Wynncraft, made a Let's Play series with TARDIS and Sam Gladiator on the server. Originally though, Green had older videos about Wynncraft, but he later deleted them, most likely to declutter his channel. Also, Hippie and Bree started making videos together during this period, and their channel grew a lot more during this time. A few extremely popular WYNNTUBERs started their channels during this time. Olinus10, for example, started uploading videos regularly on January 5th, 2016. Technically, his first video was made on January 12th, 2015, but he stopped uploading for a year, so we're not counting it. He made almost exclusively Wynncraft playthroughs when he started, and it was only after a few months that he started making his most notable content, quest guides, starting from December 16th, 2017. Two other famous creators that began their channels during 2016 were Icebreaker Gamer, who did a variety of random Wynn content ranging from Wynncraft random moments to powder location guides. The other creator came by the name of Lord Mutton Chops, who was known mostly for his Wynncraft builds, but also did a multitude of different types of videos on the server.
Oh, let's try something else. Now watch and learn. Here's the deal. You slip and slide from this banana peel. What are you doing?
If this isn't peak Wynncraft content, I don't know what is. Finally, there used to be a pretty famous YouTuber who made Wynncraft videos in 2017 named Glitchslayer. However, he eventually deleted all of his content and sold his channel off. He was known mostly for owning one of the first big Gavel markets on the server. Now, we finally arrive at the years 2018 to 2019. A majority of the biggest active YouTubers started their rise to success during these years. Shots, Yoshi's World, and TurboStratus started their channels during this era, just to name a few. Shots made sarcastic reviews of Wynncraft dungeons.
Anyway, in this first room, all these guys do is walk straight towards you, so the only way you can somehow get hit is if you're just blind.
And general aspects of the game. Yoshi's World made absolute video classics, like... Does that say Hitler Plays? Oh yeah, and he also made content on Mythics. TurboStratus was a YouTuber so fast that not even an infinite teleport mage could catch up to him. But in short, Turbo's whole channel was about being the fastest in all of Wynncraft, and he achieved that. Another somewhat big YouTuber during 2018 was Gamer. Wynncraft had recently released the Corcus update, which, as you know, contained Legendary Island, a location in Corcus that offered extremely challenging bosses for endgame players. Gamer said, I actually like pain. And they decided to make Legendary Island harder by making videos beating it using ridiculous challenges such as forcing themselves to be at 1 HP the entire run, or being forced to use crappy weapons to win. Wynncraft continued to grow, and the two arguably biggest active WYNNTUBERs started uploading their first Wynncraft related videos in 2019. Renee, a builder on the Wynncraft content team, and K-Maxi, a Hypixel Bed Wars sweat. Together, they would change the Wynncraft YouTube landscape forever by filling in the shoes of the past YouTubers that left the community and upping the bar for content creation. Renee's second Wynncraft related video, for example, was made in a cinematic movie-like style for the quest A Journey Beyond. Cinematic shots, voice acting, and shaders made it an instant success. Both K-Maxi and Renee did quest guides, but would soon branch out to other forms of Wynncraft content. An amazing creator by the name of Glazer also started his channel during this time, but it wasn't until a bit later that he would really surge in popularity. I'm calling this period Wynncraft's golden years because content creation was at an all-time high. Due to the pandemic, people now had a ton of free time, especially because online school sucks. And so this meant that the popularity for Wynncraft content would reach an all-time high. Renee expanded the content he made on his channel during 2020 from merely quest guides to speedruns and videos explaining how to gain X item on the server. The musical and comedic genius Freecrow started making Wynn content on February 29th, 2020, with his first song debuting on June 13th, 2020. And well, you guys can see what I mean when I say he's a musical genius.
Nirvana, ooh na na. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Two more creators started around this period, Psyduck on May 19th and the Nelston on May 22nd. Psyduck's channel was based around explaining game aspects of Wynncraft, like how elemental defense and skill points work, and the Nelston was known mostly for his extremely popular Wynncraft class builds. June was a big month for content, as one of the biggest Minecraft YouTubers, TommyInnit, made a video on the server on June 25th of that year. Salted and the staff showed him the behind the scenes of the server, and the success of the video helped bring in a huge influx of new players. However, this sudden surge of players made a lot of people mad because the server became a lot laggier, / some people just hated his fanbase in general. Moving on, K-Maxi had been taking a break from Wynncraft content for a couple months, and when he returned, he came back with a bang. On June 28th, 2020, K-Maxi uploaded the video, The Complete History of Wynncraft, and it was an instant success. Pretty much everyone in the Wynn community has seen this video, and it definitely helped shine some more spotlight on the server. Later on, he created the Voices of WynMod. In October, Glazer began creating his most popular content, Wynncraft X Experience videos. These videos could be about weapons, raids, and events in the game. A month later, on November 6th, Wynncraft would get a new face, Asher Was Here. He goes by Jace now. Jace made a 100 days video on the server. It became an even bigger success than K-Maxi's history video, as it reached mainstream Minecraft by combining the super popular 100 days genre and Wynncraft. The video helped introduce a ton of people from the Minecraft community to the server, and Jace continued to make videos on Wynncraft until he quit on October 9th of 2021. Finally, at the end of 2020, two final major creators started making Wynncraft content, starting one day after one another. Chaos Dragon on December 7th, and Dr. Draco on December 8th. Chaos Dragon made a Let's Play series in the beginning, but later on made content focusing on Wynncraft challenges. Dr. Draco made videos focusing mainly on mythics and loot running on the server. Now in June of the next year, Hypixel had shut down its Skyblock game mode, which led to an enormous amount of players from that community coming over to Wynncraft. Some big Skyblock creators like Swavey and Akinsoft made videos on the server during the shutdown. And now we're here in the year of 2022. Now I know I might have missed a couple YouTubers, so here's just a list of ones I probably didn't mention / I know, but I just didn't include them. Now, I thought it'd be a good idea to ask some other WYNNTUBERs a few questions to get their opinions / thoughts on the community and whatnot, and I'm actually really surprised a lot of them agreed to do it. I'll be making another video with all of their responses, but for the sake of time, I'll be limiting it to 2 people per question.
I mean, Wynncraft is really the first MMORPG I've ever played. I joined it for first time 2015. While I was quite new to Minecraft, I was just looking for some servers, and I heard that Wynncraft was a quite cool server. So I tried joining it. In the early days, it was before Gavel, so the max combat level was level 75. The Ost update had just come out, and yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I played it a bit. Not too much. Then I took a break, played a lot of Hypixel, and then eventually, like when the Gavel update came, I came back and played a lot more, basically. And what made me fall in love is basically, it's because it was my first MMORPG. I really feel like I really enjoyed it because of that, because like I actually do enjoy like MMORPG games, even though I don't really play any other ones. And I really love Minecraft, so it's just a perfect combination for me.
Grian's like 2015 videos got me to Wynncraft. I watched him because I loved building in Minecraft, and he was, you know, a building YouTuber. He made those tutorials which I watched, which I learned from, and he also made several Wynncraft videos, which sadly he unlisted, which is quite a shame, but yeah, I watched them. And then I told myself, you know what? I should try that game. I tried and I fell in love with it.
I first had this one channel where me and my friends just did random Minecraft videos, but then I deleted that one and then created this one. And I first started off just doing random Minecraft videos. But since Wynncraft sort of was the server I played the most on, it just felt sort of to be the right thing to sort of do content of.
Well, you know, I've always been pretty interested, even before I started doing like Wynncraft content. I did a lot of. I mean, I'm currently a developer for a mod pack called Rebirth of the Night, and I actually kind of got started with that because I made a bunch of different tutorials and guides on like different aspects of the mod pack. So if you look at like the best known Wynncraft videos on my channel are definitely the class build guides. I mean, those easily are like the most viewed Wynncraft videos on my channel, right? So, you know, I've always been very interested in making tutorials, kind of helping people figure out how to play different games. And so, you know, making class build tutorials for a game that I was really interested in at the time was, you know, basically like something natural to me.
I'm hoping we travel to Froma soon. The bits and pieces we see and hear about it from quests leave me desperate to go there. The freaking gates are just haunting you. I know we're gonna get there eventually. Really hoping it's sometime this year, but if not, just eventually, please. I'm hoping they add a 2-person raid into the game. Currently, we have a raid that requires 4 players, a raid that requires 4 to 6, and a raid that requires 3 to 4. And you're not even able to attempt it with less than that. Like if you have one friend that plays the game, you've got to go find other randoms to play with. You can't do a raid with just you and your friend. I'm hoping Wynncraft will add some mythics that are rare drops from endgame bosses at a drop rate of like 1 in 100 to 1 in 500, but are exclusive to those bosses. I really think that farming a boss would give the endgame a nice bit of variety for hunting from like a new mythic weapon or a new mythic armor piece. And on that topic, I really hope they add mythic accessories or other pieces of armor besides the 10 pairs of boots. There's not enough mythics in this game that aren't just weapons and boots.
Definitely something to change the soul point system. It's seriously problematic for many newer players and either inconvenient or completely non-existent for long-time Wynncrafters. Possibly the only aspect of Wynn that is 100% negative. That's not really an update adding thing, so here's one. I'd love to see an update to item lore. Currently there's a ton of questionable grammar, dated descriptions, and most of all, just a lack of stories on items.
Yeah, well, you know, first off, everybody that I played the old XMP with, check out their channels. Obviously your channel. I do actually watch some of your Wynn videos still, every now and then. I don't play myself, but I see your Let's Play basically, and I'm, you know, pretty big fan of that. And I think one thing that unfortunately, I feel like one person who does a lot of stuff for the community, but maybe doesn't get as much attention is Chaos Dragon. I'm sure you've probably heard of his challenges and all the, like, you know, the random modifier stuff. The dude puts a lot of effort into his videos. The dude puts a lot of effort into his like events. And so I really do wish that he had kind of a bigger following. There are more people that participated in his stuff, so definitely go check his stuff out, because I did his first challenge. I actually ended up winning, I think, second in that, behind Dr. Draco, who's too good at the game, unfortunately. It was a well-planned event. You know, trying to one-up people was just, you know, it's something that definitely builds a sense of community. And yeah, I definitely think you guys should go check out his channel.
My favorite Wynncraft YouTuber would be Shots prior to when he quit making Wynncraft videos. Now I guess it'd be like Saya. But he makes like one video every year. There's not much to say for me besides it's getting really stale, so yeah, that's my conclusio.
So now, since you've gotten this far in the video, you and I both know that we're on the same wavelength. So, subscribe. So, originally this was supposed to be a video for hitting 500 subs, but as you can see, I probably passed that by the time this is released. So I just first wanted to thank some people that helped me reach this. Well, first I'd like to thank Saya and Shot. They were the first YouTubers to really discover me, in a sense, and they were the ones who invited me to the WYNNTUBER Discord, which, if you don't know, just basically a lot of good Wynncraft creators go on here, and we do stuff and talk and whatnot. It really helped lead me to meeting a ton of, you know, my idols, slash YouTubers that I watched throughout the years. It's kind of insane when I think about it because I never thought I'd reach here, but I'd also like to thank Renee for inviting me to the Veil SMP. Also, he organized events on the WYNNTUBER Discord. I got to meet TurboStratus, which that's crazy. Bro. Also, I'd like to thank every YouTuber who participated in this video, and not gonna lie, I was kind of intimidated by you guys. But you all were really nice, and yeah. Finally, you know, I gotta thank my girl, Kuzzer, obviously. She's been there with me throughout my whole journey on YouTube, and she believed and supported me when no one else did. The amount of help she's given me throughout the years, it's just, I could never repay her. Finally, I would like to thank you guys for taking the time to watch my content, give me feedback, and without you, I wouldn't be here, obviously, so, you know, thank you. Now, let's finally answer the question of why Wynncraft? Why did I start playing it, and, well, why do I continue? Well, my journey on Wynncraft started on April 11th, 2015, which was 7 years ago. Wow, that's like almost half my lifetime when I think about it. I used to be a big fan of MMOs in general before Wynncraft, so I'd play games like Terra, Blade and Soul, and Naruto Online. That one's not a lie. It was a fun game. I played in school using those really crappy Chromebooks that they made us use. When I first got Minecraft, I wanted to experience something that each of those games had, which was adventure. And Wynncraft basically provided all of that, since back in the early days, it was almost entirely based around exploration. So after I completed my first playthrough, I stopped for a bit, sometime around the Corcus update, and there wasn't really much left to do at the time after beating Corcus, in my opinion, in regards to what I like to do, which was quests. Once the economy update dropped though, I began playing actively, and I went around a lot of guilds and met a lot of cool people. I'm gonna be honest here, I kind of just stopped. Professions, which were the big thing, used to be a lot harder to grind at the time. After that, I began playing Hypixel for a bit, and then I met Kuzzer, and for a couple months I proposed that we try out Wynncraft. You know, she agreed, and that started my YouTube. So, well, I grew up watching a ton of Wynncraft YouTubers before I played. So Alinus, Hippie and Bree, Mr. Sebulonian, TurboStratus, and a couple more whose names I honestly forgot, and they really inspired me to make Wynncraft content in general, and so I tried it out. I used to have this really crappy laptop, like I said. It was literally a decade old, and I tried editing for the first time. Also, if you can't tell, my mic was very crappy.
It's not that far, it's just a straight path from your gods. If you're ready, let's get moving.
But even so, I loved making these videos and making memories with my friends. And even for how horrendous they were, it was fun to make them, and it helped me see Wynncraft in a new light because it was different than just mindlessly playing it. Now, out of all the games and servers out there, well, the Wynncraft experience was unique. Sure, there were big servers like Hypixel and Mineplex that had more players, but what really drew me in and won me over into Wynncraft was its immersiveness and innovation. For example, Wynncraft's storyline is just, in short, amazing. Now sure, there's a very small portion of quests that are kinda bad / unenjoyable, like the orc killing quest or the Tower of Amnesia. However, you know, the overarching and long quest lines like Win Excavation or Realm of Light, which led to huge events, really kept me engaged and refreshed to play Wynncraft for hundreds of hours. It's kinda like watching your favorite character in a TV series grow stronger over their journey to beat this big bad evil boss, except you're the one who lives that story. The aspect of entwining quests with the environment, with lore, is just, it's just amazing, to say the least. I really love the little details / actions they implement into the game, such as a massive collection of items having their own lore / descriptions, festivals / events for the game, and how the staff actually updates pre-existing areas rather than just letting them be outdated. Now, probably the biggest thing I admire other than the lore is Wynncraft's innovation. Almost no servers, in my opinion, can even do remotely an iota of what Wynncraft can. You know, the way they consistently keep pushing themselves to try new mechanics, designs, and the fact that they actually listen to their community makes me really glad that I joined the server. So yeah, if there's anything left to say, it's that Wynncraft's story, innovative gameplay, and immersive sense of adventure is why I play. I'm Draco, and I'll see you later.